This Silicon moment, SS in college, my great friends, gives me great pleasure to be here in this wonderful hall. Sometimes it's filled with nostalgia, considering the name of the person in whom the hall has been named after, Justice Pratap Singh. Before I speak further, I would like to say that I'm going to go into three or four things. First one is of medical jurisprudence, the connection with my life and the lives of many Indians, which I think is very important from a social perspective also. We should all know our social responsibilities, much as it may affect us or not affect us. Secondly, I'm going to speak about sports in general, the sports system in India, followed in the states, in many states in India and the country, how I think we can do further and better, and also my own experiences in sports and my own experiences in trying to build. I'm still building this sports center. I have not completed it yet. Even though people are been very kind to me and given me a lot of help and sponsorship, I'm still short and I'm trying to get it through. So I'd like to dwell on that also for some time. And I would also like to say that this is the third or fourth time I've come here. I think 2-3 times I've come to this college in connection with many things and was invited by Mrs. Kala Vijay Kumar, who was a great friend of mine. So let me not dwell too much on this. I'd like to now start the first thing of my speech. First thing, Justice Pratap Singh Hall brings me very wonderful memories of my interactions with him, not exactly interactions with him, when I was in court, when he was the judge for my case against the Herring hospitals and the doctors, in my famous case, CS 690 of 1985. And I've never seen a more wonderful person in my life, not considering that, not that the judgment came in my favor, but because justice had prevailed and I was very thrilled about it. At that time, we never thought that, justice could be won against the high and mighty. I'll go to Tamil. வீட்டில் ஒரு ஆப்ரேஷன் பண்ணணுனாலே வீட்டில் என்ன சொன்னாங்க, ஐயோ 108 தேங்காய் உடைக்கிறேன் ஆஞ்சநேயருக்கு. ஏன்னா intrinsically you feel when the knife touches you, something can go wrong. Here, we proved this was a case of medical negligence. I do not want to talk about the hospital. I don't want to name the hospital or doctors because this is not the forum for that. However, this is what even my illustrious grandfather, my parents who are all highly educated and very well positioned in society felt that you cannot win a case against a doctor even if you know they are at fault. Now, this is not that I am trying to prove. What happened to my health is gone. My health is perhaps gone beyond reasonable repair, but justice must prevail, and someone who has done this cannot walk off with that. With this in mind, I fought a very big battle, and it's very difficult to fight a legal battle. Much as you have wonderful judges, wonderful advocates today, things are moving very quickly. Lok Adalat is there, which has been done by the government of India. So many cases are covered in one day. However, it is not so easy to get justice. It takes a very, very long time. Mind you, the strength to bear such long delays is very difficult. People get fed up easily. It's not easy to do it. Secondly, I think before I'll throw the floor for you to ask some questions. Secondly, we used a principle of law called res ipsa loquitur, which is an Italian doctrine, which for the first time I think was used in India in my case, which is the facts speaks for itself. Suppose you throw a jar from your window and falls on the person going on the road. The onus is normally on the person complaining to prove the fault of the other person. Here, you have thrown it, the person downstairs does not know who threw it. So the onus of proof shifts, which is section 114 of the Evidence Act. And also it's a principle called res ipsa loquitur, which is an Italian doctrine, which was used for the first time in India and upheld in my case, in my sensational case against the hiring hospitals and doctors. And this is a unique case of medical jurisprudence. I would prefer if you could ask some questions on it when I have finished with it. Secondly, coming to the sports system in the country, various sports are controlled by various local sports associations. For example, the Tamil Nadu TT Association, Tamil Nadu Tennis Association, Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, and so on and so forth. These are all controlled by the All India Federation like BCCI, the Table Tennis Federation of India, the footballers, the association, Indian Footballers Association, and then they are controlled by the world bodies. Here, there is a big confusion in India. There is what is known as the Indian Olympic Association, there is what is known as the Sports Authority of India, then there is what is known as the ministry which controls these sports developments. And apart from this, these people are all not exactly, they do not come under the government. More so, the bodies like the BCCI, which do not take a grant from the government, in which the government do not have direct control. Much as they have tried, and people are trying to, the government is not able to get anybody in. Even in the other sports, while the government has got a nominee, there's a government nominee in selection policies, in table tennis, in football, in hockey, whatever. But I don't think they have an overriding effect. They don't have the power of sanction, which makes it a very weak thing. They just come and go, and nobody is able to have a very big factor in the sports part. Having said all this, I think now we are making very big strides. All our stadiums, all our infrastructure is extremely good, perhaps match the rest of the world in sports, especially as far as I know, table tennis, maybe cricket, tennis, football, etc. So when I went to Japan first time for training, we did not know even what the rubbers existed. Today everything can be seen on the net, on the website, so on and so forth. Everyone is aware. Many parents, I have an institute. Many parents come to me and say, sir, I am paying in the rubber vanda, in the rubber bata better arkuma. So everyone is aware of all the developments in sports, in table tennis, perhaps in all the other games. And this is a very nice and novel idea, and I am sure the day is not far off when we will be able to match the rest of the world in all the sports. Having said all this, I still feel a system must be found where the sportsman is taken care of in his later days. Today, a sports person, I've got some of my TT players who got admission in this very college and have done very, very well. I'm grateful to the management of this college and many other colleges. They have done very well. However, as soon as they finish the college, then they take up the jobs in various wonderful companies. They're highly educated. They want to think about their future. They want to think about marriage, their families. And then the sports takes a background. This is not a very welcome trend, because the admission is given also with the idea of the children developing their own ideas into a very big sportsman. That is the idea within which the colleges like SSN, maybe other very eminent colleges, take sportsmen into their thing and try to develop their futures. I think sportsmen owe a duty. Once they finish their colleges or anything, to come back, try to do whatever they can for the institute, the state and the country, and for the society in general. So this is, I think, one of the bane of sports in India, which is preventing, I think, performing at a higher level. I am not saying we are not performing. Now we have got, I can name 6 or 7 sportsmen who are doing extremely well in the world level. For example, Sania Nehwal, PV Sindhu in badminton, maybe many people in squash, Sania Mirza in tennis. There are other, cricket team is doing very well. Football team is just trying to qualify and do very well. All the big entrepreneurs, industrialists are now involved with one sports or the other. And the governments are giving great incentive. For example, if you win an Olympic gold medal, I think the state government gives an award of 3 crores. the government of India gives an award of 3 crores. So a person who wins an Olympic gold is sure of at least 10 lakhs, plus a job, a land, and so many other things, which is very, very good. And I think it should, the thing is, this kind of incentive should drop down to the common person, not exactly the winners and the top 8 or 10 people in every sport. Everywhere where you are among 50, 60 in this country or in the world, you should be able to get a reasonable amount for your own livelihood. Only then the sports can become a profession, and only then it can become a great thing in our own activities. I plead with all the industrialists and the colleges to make it more job-oriented, more result-oriented, more financially rewarding situations, to have more tournaments with good prize money for the children, which is one of the ways of things coming forward in sports. Lastly, coming to my motivation, I think much as other people may have also suffered, I am not here to comment on my suffering. The physical drawback is a very big thing you have to overcome. Mind you, I never thought of coming back and becoming normal again, being able to walk, being able to see properly, whatever. I always thought of trying to play again and be number 1 in sports, in table tennis, which is why I think I got to this level at least. As my earlier speakers have rightly pointed out, never give up must be one of the spirits in whatever you do. And you should never aim for something. You should always try to aim for the best. And maybe like the person who previously told me, ask questions, clear your doubts, try to get better, try to get even better, try to see you do justice for your family, for the society, for the institute, and for the country. Mind you, whenever you have a situation where you have a chance to do something in whatever way you can, never say, okay, some other person will do it. It's our responsibility to take it up, to take the cause further, and to fight it out. In my own personal case, even my parents, when my illustrious grandfather told me, this case of yours will never win, and it's a waste of time. I am not proud it has won. I am proud because justice has prevailed in society. I am proud of the society I take care of, and I am proud of the legal jurisprudence system in this country. Even though it has taken many, many years, this is one system of which I am very, very proud. It also makes doctors to be more careful in the future, not to be careless when treating other patients. So these are my few experiences in my small whatever thing I've come through. Apart from this motivation, I think all of you should try to get motivated to do higher and better in your own fields. Never give up and say, okay, this is it, God has made this thing for me, I will do only this. Try to come to terms with yourself. I am sure all of you have got it inbuilt in you to become very big people. And I'm sure a day is not far off when most of you here, not most, all of you here, will be very, very eminent citizens of the country and do very, very well. In the last year, I had a personal meeting with the Prime Minister in which I spoke to him extensively about sports, and also a little bit of, I spoke about the corruption in sports. Mind you, I'm not competent to speak on corruption in other parts, but in sports I'm personally aware, so I spoke to him. He said, yes, it is a part of this thing, but it's very difficult considering the intricate system with the sports people have developed over the last so many years. However, Chandra, I'll do my best, for that's the assurance he gave me. I had an extensive meeting with him for about half an hour, after which I left with fond memories of my wonderful meeting with him. Mind you, all the leaders whom I have met have been very, very kind and nice to me. And I wish to thank all of them, the people here, members of the SSN SICON, who have invited me to be here as a part of this wonderful gathering and to spend a lovely morning with all of you, such wonderful, intelligent faces, and also my speakers who spoke to me who spoke so much. I think my speech will pale into insignificance when compared to what they have spoken. However, I told whatever I can, and request all of you, if you could ask me some questions, I'd be glad to answer it, instead of going into the things again. Please. So I wish to thank all of you for giving me a wonderful opportunity to be here. And